All right, so welcome to week 3 with Jen and Jonathan at MSW Lounge. We've got some history now of what we've been doing to help me with my high performance and my gut health and my energy, mood, and all the things that are going on. So we always start with a really kind of intensive deep dive, and Jonathan asked me a million questions, and so let's do that now and then figure out where we're going today.
Okay. How did you feel after the last IV?
The last IV, I was not as tired as I was with the other one, and I found during the week that I didn't have the food cravings.
Nice.
I also found that my levels of overall energy and my mood was higher.
Okay.
And then on one particular day, it started and I was like clenching my jaw, like nobody's business. And that went on for a while. And then I took a bunch of magnesium and some electrolytes, and that seemed to solve it.
Okay. So why? So the relaxation of the magnesium basically targeted the muscles to help them relax. Whenever you tense up, you probably go into sympathetic mode, and then you're overstressed. Your muscles naturally clench because the nerves that control everything, like the vagal nerve, whenever a sympathetic mode is turned on, those nerves go into the muscles and it makes the muscles spasm. It didn't help that you were clenching on top of it as well, but I'm sure the magnesium helped to relax you. And the last time we were talking as well about you not having as much energy the first time, that was a detox. And it's interesting because in your IV bags, we've been putting stuff to give you energy, but it's more to replenish your adrenal glands. And so whenever you talk about sympathetic mode, if somebody's clenching their teeth for months, years, their whole life, their adrenal glands are always firing, which is producing a lot of cortisol and adrenaline. And that's sympathetic mode, flight or fight. You're white knuckling it, adrenals are going. You want to calm down. Magnesium calms you down. B vitamins can calm you down and replenish your adrenal glands. And if your adrenal glands are overfiring, you're in sympathetic mode, we worry about gut health because that vagal nerve that goes into everything in the body goes into the gut, and sympathetic mode causes your gut to stop moving. It's like an assembly line, right? And so when people have digestive issues, the first thing they talk about is having a hard time going to the bathroom after they eat. And what happens is your sympathetic mode clenches your jaw, and then it slows down your stomach, and so you're not able to pass the food along the digestive tract, and it disrupts your digestive lining. It affects your mood because your serotonin comes from your gut, and if you have any type of irritation in the gut, you won't release enough serotonin to help you with your mood. And so we talked about mood. Mood and energy are the same thing. If you have a good mood, you have good energy. If you have low mood, you have low energy. Same deal. So the adrenals help replenish a good mood. Helping fix the gut will also help you feel better, right? And then naturally your brain feels better because you're getting more serotonin.
That makes so much sense based on how my week did this with clients this week. And then yesterday I was on the phone with clients most of the day, and by about 7 o'clock last night I just hit the wall. And I had a couple things left to do, but I was done. I was so done. And like my emotions were shot, everything was shot, and it had been this magnificent day. It was such a great day, and then I tanked.
And so right there at the end, your body was running on adrenaline and cortisol all day long. That was your source of energy. And then when you finally stopped, your body slows down a little bit as far as the production of adrenaline, but your body doesn't slow down because mentally you've been fueling your body full of adrenaline and cortisol all day, and you're in sympathetic mode. So you're like, man, I am alert. It's 9 o'clock at night though, or it's 8 o'clock, or it's 7 o'clock, and you're like, I'm exhausted. All that adrenaline, cortisol fuels your brain, and when you stop making it, your body's like, wait a second, where am I supposed to get my energy from? You know, I've been running on fumes all day, and then what you do is you replenish by eating something, right? And then a lot of times people will eat something. You think hangry is the term, right? Low blood sugar.
Sure.
Well, whenever you're stressed out all the time, you're your blood sugar is going up and down throughout the day because you're stressed. That's what it does with your blood sugar. So if you catch it at the right time and you have low blood sugar, you're hangry. So usually that's when people say, I need to sit down and eat something. So you eat something. If you eat sugar food, all you're doing is just restarting the ups and downs of the blood sugar and the stress again. If you eat something like fat, like avocados or salmon, you don't spike your blood sugar, and what happens is you can regulate your insulin, your cortisol, you start regulating your energy and metabolism again, right? That's one way to kind of get your body out of the flight or fight mode. And then when that happens, hopefully you start getting ready to go to bed at night. So I imagine on those days when you're exhausted, you need to replenish your gas tank, right? The best thing you do is go to sleep and relax, because that's opposite of sympathetic mode, it's parasympathetic. So whenever you're normally exhausted, do you have a good night's rest that day?
I would love to say I do. However, I have been waking up in the middle of the night. I don't know the last time I slept through the night.
Yep.
So I wake up, I do some like mental calming exercises, and eventually I do fall back asleep.
Yeah.
But I have yet to sleep through a full night in quite some time.
So we talk about optimization. We talk about health. This is the end result. We're talking about sleep. Sleep is the most important thing you could do for your health. And in fact, if you look at it as a practice, every single day you're doing something to improve your sleep. And so when people come in here, they want to optimize. They want to live a long, healthy life. And I'm thinking, okay, well, let's focus on the things that are still basic. Sleep.
Yep.
Good mental wellness, right? We talk about flexibility, hydration, and food. So a lot of times when people have problems with sleep, you look at the nervous system, because once again, your sympathetic mode affects everything, including your sleep, right? It clenches your jaws, it slows your gut down. Let's talk about how it affects your sleep. So when you're in sympathetic mode all the time, you release stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol. Cortisol suppresses melatonin, which is your sleep hormone. So when you're going to bed at night, cortisol should be going down. And if you're stressed all the time, cortisol is still high. And if cortisol is high, it's suppressing your melatonin. And so no wonder you have a hard time falling and staying asleep, because your melatonin is non-existent, your sympathetic mode is full mode, and adrenaline and cortisol are still running rapid in your body. And so you're just laying there saying, how do I just relax?
Yeah.
You fall asleep for a split second, then your body probably realizes that you're still stressed for some reason, and it wakes you up again. And if that happens, I ask people this question when it comes to sleep, because most people say, oh, I sleep really well. How often do you wake up in the middle of the night? Oh, well, I'll wake up, quite a bit. So you don't sleep all night. No, I don't sleep all night, but I get 8 hours of sleep. That's different than saying you slept consistently all night for 8 hours. That's a big difference. And I'd say this, most people say 7-8 hours is the magic number. That might be the case, but give me 3 hours, 4 hours of deep sleep, and I'll be refreshed the next day. I knew I could get a little bit more, but remember, in sleep, you're going up and out of dreams, deep sleep, dreams, deep sleep, awake. If I can be just here, rather than up here, that's what I want to be at. So the goal with every time you come in here, if we're trying to optimize, we're working on the practice of sleep. And if we're winning the battle in sleep, what we're doing is we're addressing the sympathetic nervous system. And that means we're calming the body down after you've had a long day, a long week. And when you do that, essentially you start noticing the side effects like better sleep, better poop, better mood, better energy. And so that's what we're really addressing here.
Awesome. So here we go. What are we going to change then on week 3, if anything?
I would probably say we're going to stick with the last thing. And you made a good point. The first week you said you felt a little tired. I'm going to go back and look at the formula, because we did change something slightly. You were probably detoxing a little bit. And then the rest of it, I think it was just simply saying, I think this does better with you than this thing does.
Okay.
Right. And so we're probably going to stick what we did last week for consistency, and then see how you feel after this week.
Awesome.
Cool.
All right, here we go.
Thanks. Nice.